Good evening, I'm Madison Carmouche. Unused or expired medications are a fixture of many medicine cabinets, but you shouldn't just throw them away in the trash or down the drain. Jessica Umbro has more on what you should do if you find something in your cabinet that you no longer need.
There's no date, time, expiration. Can be 10 years expired or 1 day expired or not expired.
Whatever the circumstances, Clarence Sullivan with the pharmacy shop says drop boxes are an easy way to dispose of unused or expired prescriptions. He says returning medications safely can prevent the abuse of medications.
And it could be, hey, John tells you he's hurting, and you say, well, John, I've got this prescription bottle, you know, that you can have, and people will actually exchange medications that way, and that's not good.
A couple of times a year, there are even community events that encourage larger batches of these returns.
We want to make it easy, efficient, and anonymous is the big thing too.
On Saturday, Lexington police partnered with the Drug Enforcement Administration for a prescription drug take-back day. It's an event happening all over the country and a movement motivated by safety.
We've seen some illegal substances being pushed in pill form that someone might think it's one medicine when it really isn't, and that's when we've seen some overdoses and so forth.
But if you weren't able to make it to a community event, many pharmacies and hospitals have permanent drop boxes.
There are collection facilities like us right here in this pharmacy that we take back drugs every day that we're open.
In Lexington, Jessica Umbro, WKYT.
And if you still want to take advantage of one of the drug take-back days, they typically happen a few times a year. For more than 3 decades, Aval, Kentucky has been dedicated to providing free and confidential HIV testing and other services to Central Kentuckians. Aval, Kentucky has been providing free, and on Sunday, the organization hosted its 31st annual Lexington AIDS Walk. Sunday's walk also showcased theatrical performances and guest speaker Senator Reggie Thomas.
We do not want to put people with AIDS in the shadows. That's where we kind of view them, but we're bringing them out of the shadows. We're putting sunlight on the stage. It's a very beautiful day, and saying that look, these people need care and support as well.
Several say the event helps to break the stigma surrounding AIDS while creating a safe environment for people to learn how to prevent and treat the illness. One church in Jessamine County used today's service as an opportunity to show their support for law enforcement. Clays Mill Baptist Church invited law enforcement agencies to their church to get to know the community members they serve. It also gave them the chance to thank officers for their hard work in keeping the community safe.
We have invited law enforcement to church for several years and honored them. We do it first of all to support them, but we want to teach our children the importance of praying for and respecting our law enforcement.
As a thank you for their service and their attendance this morning, law enforcement officers were gifted a mug and a Dunkin' Donuts gift card.
Definitely a warm day across southern and eastern Kentucky. In fact, it felt more like June than the end of April. Let's check out that almanac here on this Sunday night. You can see down in London, they reached a high of 82 degrees today, almost at the record, just 3 degrees shy at it. That high 85 set back in 1956. Jackson, another warm day for you as well. 83, 2 degrees shy of the record set back in 1994. And you can see overall those temperatures well into the 80s today, about 10 degrees above where we would typically expect to be. Tonight, clear skies, calm conditions, a few passing clouds as temperatures drop into the low 60s. Still going to feel like summer for at least a couple more days. A quick look at your Monday forecast shows definitely going to feel like it tomorrow. Highs into the 80s with mainly sunny skies. However, a storm system rolls in on Tuesday. That brings us around to soggy weather and a little bit of a cool down, but it's not going to cool down much. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a few minutes, Madison.
All right, Shane, thank you. Bowling Green's Lost River Cave rounded out its Earth Week celebrations this afternoon with its final volunteer day, where attendees cleared the invasive winter creeper plant from the forest floor. Originally introduced in the 1900s as an ornamental plant from China, winter creeper has now become an invasive species, taking over forest floors and destroying native life. As the winter creeper is removed, native plants will be able to sprout easier and healthier, all part of the greater mission of reverting the park back to its original state.
We are a small staff that just enjoys providing a connection with nature here. We have 72 acres that we would love the community to enjoy and just share with, and so we depend on volunteers to come help us in trying to do that.
Williams says Earth Week would not have been possible without the help from volunteers and sponsors. Students at South Laurel High School are getting the opportunity to learn in a new setting. The school recently opened its new greenhouse. Students, a part of Future Farmers of America, get to sell flowers, spices, and vegetables they grew in the greenhouse. FFA President Kadrian Lawson says they use the money to help them throughout the year to attend several events.
We take the money, and everything we make this year will be able to provide us for next year. Everything we made last year got us going for this year, so we have to keep that money up and make sure that we're making more than we're spending. But along with that, if we do get any extra money, like you said, we have national convention, state convention, we take our FFA members to the rodeo, lots of experiences that some kids don't get to experience outside of FFA, so this money definitely goes to benefit that too.
Lawson says they will be open each Saturday until the end of the school year or whenever they sell out. Hundreds gathered in Pikeville to check out artwork created by students. WYMT's Jack Demler has more from the Pikeville Elementary Gym.
Chaslyn Sloan, a first-year teacher at Pikeville Elementary School, has always found joy in seeing the excitement on her students' faces.
So there is nothing like the joy of a kid's face, seeing that face light up when you pull out those paints. It is phenomenal, and it is nothing but pure joy, and I cannot describe that any other way.
A joy that others experience when seeing students' artwork on display in an annual art show.
Nothing gives me greater joy than to see our parents and our children and all of our families and our community come in and celebrate what our kids do at our school.
Sloan's first experience at setting up the art show, she says her plans changed as the school year went on.
As a teacher, you always have to be very flexible. So this year I started out with this big idea that I'm going to do a themed art show. And then the year progressed and the students' interests changed, and so I was flexible and I changed with that.
That led to more than 600 pieces of artwork, each unique in the way they were made. It is the uniqueness that Sloan says gives her the ability to see her students in their artwork.
When I look around, I can look at each individual piece and it can be like, oh, that's so-and-so, or oh, that's definitely them. Like, it's just, I can see them in their art.
And brings a sense of pride to those involved.
We are so proud of everything that they do, and we love seeing all the different types of art that are displayed here, and we love it when the students are able to show their families what they do at our school.
Taking time to display their artwork for everyone to see. In Pikeville, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
Sloan says they will continue to host the annual art show for the students and will keep this year's artwork up through tomorrow for the students who weren't able to make it today. Coming up at 11, as campus protests heat up, so are the consequences, especially for one politician in particular.